How do we face Corona? Of those who trust in Him, first, we trust in Him. Second, we hope for more. And third and finally, and it flows out of the rest, we love as we've been loved. We love as we've been loved. I love the post I saw just last week from a Deakin uni grad. They used to be a member of the Deakin CU. They're now serving as a nurse. It says this: schools closed, offices closed, malls empty, events called off, flights grounded, economy down, even international borders closed. People are scared so much as to look at each other, forget touching. But hospitals are still open. We still touch patients to check their pulse and examine. We don't hesitate and walk 3 meters away if you have a cough or a cold or a fever. The only community which is at highest risk yet not stepping back, nurse. Proud to be a nurse. And then it ends, #respect nurse. And it's so true, isn't it? And we want to thank God, we want to pray for the nurses and doctors and emergency services, especially now, but actually, this is not just true for nurses. Did you realise? Did you know this has been the pattern of those who know God's love year after year after year? In fact, as historian and sociologist Rodney Stark puts it in his book, The Rise of Christianity, right throughout history, in plague after plague after plague, Christians have consistently moved toward those in need at terrible cost to themselves. Why? Because that's what Jesus did for them. That's how He already loved them. As another person put it recently, I love this, Jesus Christ understood that the most deadly virus known to humanity is sin. He knew the sin virus was a killer, a parasite that takes up residence and eats away at its host and eventually and always kills. And yet what did He do? Did He deny the problem or put others at risk? Did He rush to the supermarket and stock His own shelves? No, the wonderful Lord Jesus moved to those in need. He gave what mattered most. He loved us at the cost of His life so we could have the cure. And you see, when you know that can't help but change your life. Can it? I heard of an international student recently who was visibly distressed because of COVID-19. A young Christian lady, one of the staff asked her why. Do you know what she said? Because I worry for my friends. I worry for other people. Why? She went on, because I don't know if they know Jesus. And His is the love they need. You see, that's what this love does. It moves your heart and your hands toward other people. And now, as we say that, don't get me wrong, we're not against physical distance, especially now. And in fact, keeping physical distance right now might be one of our very best expressions of love. But see, that's the point. That's why a Christian will do it, because of love. To love as we've been loved. Perhaps one of the best expressions of what this might look like is being bandied around a lot now. It comes from the pages of history, from another man who knew God's love and so loved others as he's been loved, also in the midst of a plague. His name was Martin Luther. And during the bubonic plague, in what's now a very famous quote, you may have seen it already all around about, here's what he said: "Therefore I shall ask God mercifully to protect us. Then I shall fumigate, help purify the air, administer medicine, and take it. I shall avoid places and persons where my presence is not needed, in order to not become contaminated, and thus, perchance, infect and pollute others, and so cause their death as a result of my negligence. And if God should wish to take me, He will surely find me, and I have done what He is expected of me, and so I'm not responsible for either my own death or the death of others. But if my neighbour needs me, I shall not avoid place or person, but I will go freely." And that's what we have to do, isn't it? As another put it so very well, as the headlines scroll across our screens, anxiety mounts in our chests, let his love for us, rather than our fear for ourselves, drive us. And if you're listening to this and you do know Jesus, this is your challenge now. How are you doing this now? Loving as you've been loved. Taking care with your hands, taking care with distance, but not shying away from those who need your love. And for those of us listening who don't yet know Jesus, I wonder if this is what you've seen already in your friends who do know Jesus. We hope it is, and we hope you'll see it more and more. See, how do you face the coronavirus as someone who trusts in Jesus? What is the difference that Jesus makes? The difference is it causes you to trust in him, to hope for more, and to love as you've been loved. And we'd love you now, in the comments below, to write some suggestions of how we might do that well. How can we love now as we've been loved?